Okay, this is now tarot lesson number 42, and an announcement to begin with, and that is there's a YouTube channel called Laurie Tries Life, and I'll put the link in the description down below. So a while ago I did a Zoom or some kind of online discussion interview with Laurie, and we're going to do another one, only this time it's going to be question and answer. So it's going to be a live stream, and it's scheduled for Tuesday the 12th of July at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard or Eastern Time. And so if you want a live tarot thing, because I wanted to do one for myself, but I'm just not getting it done. So this could be a good start. So anyway, that's Laurie Tries Life. And today I have no idea what to do. And so, because usually when I do these, I've got an idea of what I want to cover or something. But this time I'm kind of blank and empty. And rather than come up with a plan, I thought this is probably the kind of situation you've found yourself in. You maybe want to look at the tarot, but you don't know what to do. Or you want to try something, but you don't know what. So I thought I'm just going to start and see what happens. So maybe what I'll do is start with, let's say you want a significator. We mentioned this before. So let's say we've got a questioner and they know what the question is. We need a card to represent the questioner, right? So if the questioner is represented by Temperance reversed, what is that telling us about the person? And then once we know Temperance, then we can do, let's say, the past, present, and future. And so this person represented by Temperance reversed was like this in the past, is like this in the present, and will be like this in the future. Right? So I'm going to turn these over for the moment. I'm doing it side to side. I'm going to turn it back so that it's the right way. So what do we say about somebody, or what kind of information do we get about the questioner if we get Temperance reversed? First, maybe it's a major trump, right? And major trumps might be more important than minor trumps. I don't know. I don't think that's actually true, but maybe with major trumps, you're getting an idea that it's important that the person understands their life, their own self, their purpose in life. You know, it's that kind of sometimes you're happy doing regular daily stuff. Other times you're motivated to look more deeply or to try and figure out the underlying reason for something. You know what I mean? That kind of different approach to life, that normal everyday life isn't good enough or isn't as satisfying as it used to be, and so you're looking for something more or something bigger or something better or something different, and that can be what a major trump represents. So if, let's say, am I going to meet somebody, and we get the Temperance card upright, you need somebody you can relate to physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If the person is just sort of nice and attractive, that's okay, but you need somebody you can talk to as well. There needs to be a mental connection between you, and there needs to be an emotional connection so that you maybe get excited by the same kind of thing, but you also have to be kind of on the same path, right? So if you want to study art and the tarot and poetry, and the boyfriend is more interested in football, you have to wonder if that's actually going to work, because you've got an interest in I don't want to say deeper stuff, but you've got an interest in more than just regular stuff, and it's represented by the major trump. So if that's one way of looking at a major trump, that it shows a need for or a desire for something more, or something more inclusive, or something more interesting, and something that maybe takes longer to get the hang of. But think of mathematics, and somebody is happy to add and subtract, but you want to do geometry. You know what I mean? You're still using addition and subtraction, but it's sort of, there's a different quality you're dealing with. So the question is represented by temperance reversed. Does it mean that the person, you want to talk about spiritual matters, so to speak, but the person isn't interested because it's a major trump, but it's upside down? So you have to wonder. And I think if this card is guiding you, the reader, on what kind of person or what state of mind the questioner is in at the time of the reading, and they're represented by temperance reversed, then you can talk about higher philosophy and so on, but they're not going to get it. They're not going to be interested. So you might as well save your breath, because they're represented by temperance reversed. And there's an angel, as it happens. There's an angel in the temperance card. So maybe you want to talk about angels or invisible influences in life, and they don't believe there are any, or they're not comfortable talking about angels or whatever you want this angel to represent. So we've got an idea about the kind of person we're dealing with, or the frame of mind or the state of mind the person is in at the moment. In the past, there were the Knight of Swords reversed. So how does this card or this person deal with the Knight of Swords reversed? So this is the person, and these are the conditions of life. So in the past, the person had to deal with rushing or discordant, upsetting situations where people were angry and upset and hostile and violent and so on, right? Because there's a horse and there's a rider and he's annoyed and he's got a sword in his hand. So you're dealing with, it's not like sitting back in a comfortable living room watching a nice TV show. You know, it's not that kind of atmosphere. It's more people are frazzled and they're upset and they're annoyed and they're angry. And maybe so this is what the person went through in the past. They had to deal with conflict. And what did it do? It made them weak. Because temperance is, if you temper metal, as I've mentioned before, you burn off impurities and make it stronger. So temperance upside down, you don't like being made to develop strength because it's upside down. So there was conflict in the past, difficult situation, and it didn't, the person didn't learn much from it. Maybe they could have learned, because a major trump can represent life lessons, right? That kind of thing. Whereas if it's upside down, either they didn't know they could learn a lesson, or they didn't like the lesson they were supposed to learn. So maybe at this point, in the past, you were confronted with a difficult, hostile individual, and you were supposed to control them, but you didn't, because you didn't know how, or you didn't feel that you could. Now, with the Three of Cups reversed, this developed into this. So the conflict and the hostility in the past has been replaced by the Three of Cups. It's a bit like sentimentality, where anything goes. And there's an English word, maudlin sentimentality. You know, if you've ever got drunk or something like that, you know, where you love everybody and you go around telling everybody, I love you and you're the best person I've ever met. And you just get ridiculously, hopelessly sentimental and maudlin. That's like this hostility turned into the Three of Cups reversed, where everybody's drunk and everybody's not drunk, raving drunk, but more maybe there's certainly a change of atmosphere from hostility to let's all just get along with each other, even if we don't believe it and even if we don't like it. And this is what's going on now. And it's interesting, the angel in the temperance card is holding a couple of cups. And we've got cups here. So what do we do with the fact that the angel, the higher self, may, because it's an angel, is dealing with cups? So somehow you're drowning your sorrows in this Three of Cups rather than making good use of an emotional connection between people. I don't know what that means, but I'm trying to make a connection between cups reversed in an angel or with an angel and cups reversed with people, and an atmosphere of celebration that has gone on too long. Maybe that's the point, it's gone on too long, or is not facing reality, because this is maybe the reality. There's hostility and conflict, but you don't want to see it. You would rather bury your head in the sand, which can be a good thing, but because it's upside down and because the temperance card is upside down, it's not a good thing. You're better to face reality, or face the reality of the conflict or the bad temper on the part of this other individual. And I'm saying that because I knew that the third card was the Chariot upright. There's a change here from a major trump reversed to a major trump upright. It's as if something's going to change for the questioner, because they go from being temperance reversed to the Chariot upright. They're going to think, okay, I have to find a direction. I have to take control of the situation and make some decisions about what direction I want to go in and how I'm going to get there. Which reminds me of something. It was a project management video that I watched, and the fellow Simon Simek or something like that, he talks about how with project management, people often begin with what are we going to do and how are we going to do it. But he says the most important thing to begin with is, why are we doing what we're doing? When you know why, then you can figure out how you're going to do it. Then you figure out what you're actually going to do. And it's as if the person at the moment, temperance reversed, has got the order wrong. They're trying to deal with what, but they ought to be figuring out why first. Because when you know why you're doing something, what's your purpose in doing whatever it is that you're doing, when you know what the reason is, then you've got an idea of the goal and the direction you want to go in. Then you can figure out how you're going to do it and what you're actually going to do. So maybe that's the difference between temperance reversed and the Chariot in this particular instance. So the person doesn't quite know what to do with people or with conflict at the moment, but something's going to click and they're going to know in the future what to do and how to go about doing it. So that's maybe what we would say if this was an actual reading for somebody. So you pick a card for a significator, you see what you get out of it, and then you pick past, present, future, for instance, or all three cards could be the future. And then you would blend the three cards here to get an idea of what the future looks like. And then, you try it and you see what you get out of it. But just the fact that we've got cups here reversed and cups reversed here, and then you think, okay, what does this mean? What would this indicate? Cups reversed and cups reversed. One with an angel and one with people. What's the difference between angels or cards with angels? Because there's only three of them, I think. The Lovers is an angel, and Temperance is an angel, and there's in Judgment there's an angel as well. So that can make us think, okay, what do these three cards have in common? The Lovers, the Temperance card, and Judgment. So you maybe take those three cards and put them side by side and examine them as a group or as a trio. And what goes in the middle? or is it because it's a triangle? You can start anywhere, and maybe we go 14, 20, 6. Oh, and 6 and 14 equals 20, as it happens, which may or may not mean something. 6 is the lovers, 14 is temperance, and 20 is the judgment card. So is it a coincidence that they happen to add up to 20, these two, or not? Or if you take the lovers away from the judgment card, you're left with temperance. 6 from 20 is 14. Or take temperance away from judgment and you're left with the lovers. You take strengthening behavior from inspiration and you're left with a choice that has to be made. So you can see things that you hadn't noticed before. Okay, so don't know how long that was, but today is the second, Saturday the 2nd. So I'm I'm wondering when the next one will be. I may be back in 3 days. So Saturday, that'd be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but it might not be till Thursday, because things have come up in the beginning. This being the beginning of July, I've got various things to do here and there. So ideally, I'll be here. If I'm not here on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, then look for lesson number 43 on Thursday of next week about 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So hope you enjoyed that, and if you have questions, let me know, so that I've got a theme for the next one, or maybe I could try and deal with more than one question that you've got. Have a good weekend. Okay, bye-bye.